at 10.
News Talk Weather.
Thanks to the AA. For great value van insurance, go to the AA.ie.
Scattered wintry showers tonight, mainly in the west of the country. Cold and windy with gales along western and northwestern coasts. Lowest temperatures -1 to +2 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
The Football Show on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power, the greatest football partnership since Shearer and Owen.
I'm prepared to do anything I can to play for my country again.
Do it then. What about your start to the game?
It wasn't bad, was it?
Why should there be an honest answer be a mistake?
How can a modern day manager not have a mobile phone?
Why should he?
So, second half's just underway in the Champions League. It is still Liverpool 1, Atletico Madrid 0, 1-1 on aggregate, all very finely poised at Anfield. And in Paris, meanwhile, behind closed doors, could be a chance for Salah. Didn't make the most of it. We'll come back to you, that chance in just one moment. Meanwhile, in Paris, behind closed doors, Neymar on 28 minutes and Jan Bernat now just at the start of the second half. PSG, or just at the end of the first half rather, on the 45th minute. 2-0 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate, PSG as things stand going through. So we're in the early stages of the game at Anfield. They're under the rain. That Mo Salah chance, lads?
That was a better chance than your Sadio Mane chance for me first half. So much time to seize it up. Joe just shifted it onto his left foot. Feel like an old record here coming. This bit of a cliched saying, but 2 years ago that's in the corner of the net. It's as simple as that. You can see Felipe struggling on the recovery. The left back was caught high up the pitch. It opened up that channel. Great pass from Wijnaldum. It's just that clinical. That's a great chance for me.
Yeah, it's a decent chance.
Do you know what?
Can I just say,
we are cribbing all night about how good a chance. It's a great chance. It's a good chance. It's a half chance.
Like you were arguing over the Mane chance. Was it a good chance? Whatever. It's a decent chance. It's not a great chance.
I thought he was a bit.
Joe, back me up on this.
I thought for a left footer he was a bit wide for it to be a great chance.
Yeah, I think if he went out with his right foot and slung it across the face of the keeper, he might nick into the back post. But as soon as he came in his left foot, his body shape was never going to allow him to set it out wide enough. You know,
there's no pressure. He could have shifted his feet next. There's no pressure coming on the inside from Felipe. He'd so much time on the ball. He could have actually had another touch.
Maybe, yeah.
But look, the game has started in a similar fashion. To be honest, yeah, Liverpool just kind of asking a couple of questions, and Atletico not doing too bad either. So it's going to be absolutely super excited to see how this pans out.
Yeah.
And then hope to God we're not 0 for 2 in our predictions tonight, because at the minute we might be.
We're just seeing João Felix there. How's he playing tonight? How are him and Costa going this evening?
Not I'm a bit disappointed with Costa. I wouldn't have started him, said before the game. Morata would have started for me. I just think physically he gets around the pitch better than Costa. Costa for me, he's been out injured, still struggling a little bit. Looks a little bit lumpy, Damien, in his movement around the pitch. I wouldn't be overly concerned about him. João Felix is the one who's got that little bit of quality on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Morata is probably going to come on at some point. Diego has done his best to... Save.
Good chance, great chance. That's a decent chance.
That's an unbelievable chance. Offside anyway.
Wasn't even a chance. So describe this. Trent Alexander-Arnold goes back, and it's a great ball.
Yeah, it's a great ball in. It's kind of, they've hit a lot of these crosses from, you could say deep, from they're not where you ordinarily want to be crossing the ball from, but they're just hanging on the back of, especially on the right side with Trent and Oxlade-Chamberlain. They just kind of feed it in there behind the right side centre back of Atletico, and Liverpool definitely have catered for this. They've obviously viewed this as a way to get at Atletico Madrid and a potential weakness, because they must have 5, 6, 7, even 8 of these where they just hit these early crosses.
It fell to Mane at the back post, and he got decent contact on it, and it was a good save actually. And then flag went up, so all redundant anyway. Trent Alexander-Arnold is Liverpool's, well, certainly one of their most creative outlets in this game. He's not at any stage trying to get on the overlap or get to the touchline or whipping across. He's more than happy to whip in very dangerous balls from deep.
Yeah, but that's the ideal for me. I'd still be encouraging them to get beyond the Madrid defensive line, because that's the ball that killed them for the goal. When you hit the end line, you force them two centre halves to turn and head. You have to twist your body and head towards your own goal.
He's clearly been told not to, would you say, Kenny? Because he's clearly been told not to.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. It's just his delivery's that good. When you give him, he's prepared to 30 yards out. His delivery's that good. He can hit the target. But if I'm a centre half and you're asking me, do I want to see Alexander-Arnold hitting the ball from 30 yards out or 2 yards from the end line whipping it in? I know which one it is.
I do agree there that in an ideal world you would love to get him down the width of the 18-yard box and get crosses in. Unfortunately, it's extremely difficult against this Atletico team because you're not going to win. But I think it's definitely there's definitely something they've talked about and exploited. You know, just feed early balls in, just right round the back of them.
Because they could have done it here. They had a 2-on-2 there. Obviously, the ball inside was a more dangerous ball.
Yeah,
anyway, Oxlade-Chamberlain making these runs from midfield in that channel is a big threat for Liverpool tonight. It was him who had the chance.
Yeah, that's the interesting one. You see it, Salah Niguez as well. When I played football and an opposition player made that run, if I was a left-sided centre-half, it was my responsibility to see that run and step it out and deal with it. Nowadays, what's happening, the two centre-halves don't give up the centre of the pitch. They expect their centre midfield player to drop in there and deal with that run. And I don't understand why. Because I think the centre-half should take responsibility. He's looking at everything that's happening in front of him. If he sees that run from Oxlade-Chamberlain early enough, he's just got to step across 10 yards and he can deal with that. Yeah. As opposed to take the easy option and say, no, I'm going to stay alongside my centre-half. I'm going to leave to my centre midfielder to constantly drop in and deal with that run. That's not easy because he's quick over the ground, Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's a big ask for Salah Niguez or Koke or any of those central midfield players to keep dealing with those runs of Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Because you only need to get ahead of your midfielder, 2-3 yards once or twice, and it's a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, you can't get back. He's that quick. That's why he's in the team. When he gets away from people, you can't make the ground back.
And in the modern game, if Oxlade-Chamberlain gets ahead of his midfield marker, surely then the next stage of that has to be, well, if you're a centre half and you see that happen, you have to start moving.
No, it's too late. It's too late then. The ground's too far to make up. Then you've got to see it early. Before that ball's played and Oxlade-Chamberlain's body language is telling you he's making that run, as a centre half, you've got to be on your way then. So by the time the ball arrives, you're almost there to deal with it. Okay. You're actually saying to your centre midfielder, stay away. I'll deal with that. Stay up the pitch, save your legs.
You've got a big problem there if your centre-half doesn't get across and cover it. So if he gets in and your centre-half has come out to deal with it and he doesn't deal with it and Oxlade-Chamberlain gets it, sets it back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, you're now down a centre-half in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, so I think a lot of teams now will want the centre-back.
It's not just Atletico. See a lot of that.
Yeah, and everyone will want the centre-back stay central, stay in the goal, because that's where goals are scored.
I guess the lesson is it's a very dangerous run to deal with.
Oh, it is. And you see Manchester City do an awful lot. The two City wide men, Sterling, Bernardo, hold the touchline, stretch the defensive line, encourage the full-backs out, the distance between full-backs and centre-halves to be as big as possible, and that's the trigger then for the likes of David Silva, De Bruyne in particular, to make those darting little runs in that inside right channel. Who's going to deal with saying, who's going to track me? Centre midfielder, centre-half going to step out, generally speaking, like we're saying, no. So it's going to be that central midfielder's got to continually keep making that run and tracking that run back. That's not easy.
It is great to see, because after the first leg, everyone was talking on how they're going to break them down.
Yes.
And I said to you that they will have dozens of analysts pouring over all Atleticos. What are they weak at? What are they susceptible to? How do we break this down? Because we can't show up and do the same thing what we did in the Wanda Metropolitano, because we're not going to get anywhere. And there's two things straight away that Liverpool are doing that they wouldn't necessarily always do. And that is the diagonal runs in behind the full-back and crosses early and crosses from relatively deep.
It's been effective in many ways. If you're just tuning in, it's 1-0 to Liverpool. Wijnaldum with a header. That was just before the break. And over in Paris, PSG, last time I checked, were 2-0 up, and they're still 2-0 up, and therefore going through 3-2 on aggregate. Looks like Llorente coming on, Kenny?
Yeah, just more. Doesn't surprise me this season. Not happy Costa, but I haven't liked the look from the start because of the way he's been
lumpy in his movements, you said.
Yeah, I think Correa will go up front now. Correa's been playing right side of midfield. He'll go up front, more dynamic than Costa. He's shouting and screaming at Simone. For me, it's the right decision. Llorente, good athlete, physically imposing.
Costa's not happy.
No, he's not. But Correa is a better option for me. I think it's the right decision.
The Liverpool fans are telling him to cheer up, which I suspect he appreciates.
They're sitting right behind the bench. I mean, that guy's taking his life in his hands there.
That could be an Eric Dyer times 20 situation, more of a Cantona situation. Here's Felix, good ball. Oh, just behind him. Still in possession, Atletico. They haven't had many forays. Felix with a shot, nothing coming off it. They haven't had many forays into the Liverpool half. This half, Atletico, they had a bit more possession in the first half in Liverpool's half. This half, 10 minutes in, really has been all Liverpool.
It has. The whole game, I think, is kind of the intensity levels upped a little bit. Even that substitution from Atletico, just there's moments when they break. It's almost as if they sense there's an opportunity and they kind of flood players like there, Llorente and me drove ahead of the ball. had it been a better first touch, he's probably getting a shot on target. It's just they have these moments at Atletico, they're so kind of experienced, they almost sense opportunities, like, and when they do, they commit those 2-3 players a little bit higher up the pitch, almost like snatch and grab. In terms of getting the opposition goal. It's going to be just those concentration levels from the Liverpool players. Don't get too excited. Things are going well. They're in the ascendancy. You're thinking there's a second goal coming here. Don't get too excited. Don't get overly commit. Don't get your starting position too high up the pitch where if you do give it away, you can't recover. That's what I'm talking about. Just be careful. Just have those concentration levels. Don't get too carried away with the occasion. They're in a good position here, Liverpool.
But it's still precarious.
Yeah, it is very precarious. Great word, Joe. You're back.
If you say so. I wanted to ask you about the Liverpool bench and see what options they have here as this thing develops. I mean, they, as you said, it being precarious, even if it's extra time and beyond, then they don't have to chase this thing and throw caution to the wind massively. They've Fabinho, they've Milner, they've Lallana, they've Origi, they've Matip as well.
People throwing Origi in there, to be honest with you.
You would or wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't be. Do you know? I mean, even into the conversation, because I mean, he's not someone you want coming on really in this situation unless you're chasing a game and you're looking for something.
And they're not chasing.
They're not chasing. No. They need structure. They need discipline. They need to keep to the game plan. He's a bit of a wild card, and he's not someone that you would want on the pitch. You saw in the first leg when he came on, he's a bit hit and miss, to be honest with you. But Minamino would be a good one. European football, he's played a lot of it, you know, so it might be.
Salah,
he's unbelievable how he just gives the ball away.
Our texter Mick and Finglas said Salah gives the ball 3-4 times a game. I'd say he's hitting double figures soon.
I mean, how he doesn't, he passes it straight to an Atletico player there. I mean, it's unbelievable. But look, he'd probably cut inside next time and pull one into the bottom right hand corner like he did against.
There was always something slightly off with Salah, even when he was sensational. There was those moments where you thought,
I think that's a stretch. I mean, that fourth season, Joe, for me was almost untouchable. But this performance tonight from Salah is kind of pretty typical of what we've seen certainly this season. But the beauty of this Liverpool team is, regardless of what's happening across that front line, so Salah's, you're looking at him tonight thinking it's a little bit hit and miss, but the balance is so good in that central area for me. Henderson sitting, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Wijnaldum, if they have to sit off and go into a better defensive shape, for me, I'm confident. Oxlade-Chamberlain dropping off and Wijnaldum, very disciplined track runners, you can trust them, make good decisions. Henderson exactly the man I want to see in there. So going forward, I like what I'm seeing. Wijnaldum scoring, Oxlade-Chamberlain's causing them problems, that inside right position. Henderson exactly where I want him. And if they go and get the second goal, say for example, go 2-0 up, I'm not racing to get Fabinho on the pitch. I'm keeping that midfield tree. That midfield tree's got exactly what I want if you have to go and protect the lead. Any changes for me is going to be made. It's going to be across that forward line if you're going to take one out and put one in.
Would you take 70 million for Salah now?
I think that's a conversation.
I don't know, man, because
Trent Alexander-Arnold cross.
Ball in, man.
It's just an amazing cross.
Jeez, he put so many on the money tonight. Just to go back to that Salah thing, he scores goals, and that's the hardest thing to do in football and costs the most money. And I think the day the goals dry up is when his production levels drop. I mean, you look at his assists and goals this year, they're still up there.
Because Jamie Carragher did a piece on him recently and he was open to making himself look foolish. He said Salah is both underrated and overrated. The overrated part are the issues we've discussed there, just certain, basics at times he messes up. But the underrated is he plays every game. Here's Felix on the attack now. That's a disappointing effort. Parried.
Oh my God, they're the little moments you're talking about. I mean, a tame effort from Joe Felix, and Adrian decides to literally take his arm off and throw it at the ball, and it almost spills. And he gets back and recovers, but the 2v2 here developed very, very quickly.
Look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is what I'm talking about him.
So explain, because people can't see it, Kenny.
Well, yeah, they've ended up playing like a 30-yard ball to João Felix, and he's almost got himself in for a split second a 1v1 situation against Andy Robertson.
Yeah.
Trent Alexander's 10 yards up the pitch, but even if he's 2-3 yards narrow there, he stops that ball. So for a split second, João Felix gets that first touch spot on. He can't have that 1v1 situation.
How did that develop? Because I was talking to you about Salah, but because Robertson was in the right back spot and Gomez was in left side centre half and Virgil van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold were nowhere to be seen. But listen, it's just developed very, very, very quickly, and it's just a kind of a warning to Liverpool there.
But Carragher was making the point, if you compare Salah to all the top names in European football, he pretty much has played the most games of any of them. So you can't underestimate the value of someone who plays every game.
Without doubt, and he scores goals and he assists. Now, he does mad stuff like we just saw there, where he passes the ball to an Atletico player for no good reason. But he scores goals, and Liverpool will live with him. I think any team will live with a player as long as they're scoring goals.
That was kind of the point he made.
And as soon as his production drops off 20%, that's when they'll move him on.
To be fair to him, he's been busy tonight. Most of Liverpool's play, for people not watching, really, I mean, I would say as much as 80% of Liverpool's play has been down their right-hand side.
It's all been Trent, to be honest with you.
Now, for me, it's Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain's absolutely killing them in that inside right channel. They can't deal with it. Salah got the ball wide right. They made that run again that we're talking about. They can't deal with it. Nobody's tracking that run. Centre-halves aren't stepping out. Atletico's centre midfielders can't deal with it and not dropping in with it. Simone's got to be screaming at someone, whether it's Partey or Sal Niguez. Sal Niguez, the ones really, he's playing left side.
Wijnaldum's making that run now, so they've obviously identified it on both sides, but it's just coming off more on the right-hand side.
Yeah, but he's got that explosive power, isn't he?
We had to stop there. That was in the air for a long time.
With most goalkeepers, when someone shoots from the halfway line, you're not too worried. But we were waiting to see where Adrian was. And
the halfway line, he's at the centre circle in his own half. He's took a long kind of...
Wasn't a bad effort.
No, it wasn't bad, to be fair, but we were just panning to see where Adrian was.
The corner flag.
Yeah.
So 1-0. We're taking a short break. Any final thoughts before? So it's an hour on the clock. Sum it up if someone's just tuning in, Liverpool fans, before we go to an ad break.
They're in good shape, but it's cautious optimism. It's honestly, it's on a knife edge. It's still on a knife edge for me, the game.
Okay, back in 1 sec. But back in 1 sec. Sorry there.
I've got everything in front of me, so I think I have.
And Owen.
The Pat Kenny Show.
On tomorrow's programme, Sir Bob Geldof on anger, his superb new album, and Brexit.
Will they do a deal with Europe? Absolutely. Will they do a deal with America? Yeah, but it'll be pony. The deal being questioned now will amount to 0.16 of the UK economy in 8 years. So they're not doing a deal. It'll be Trumpian. It's great. It's so good. There must be bits and deal we've ever made. You know, he's a worker.
That, plus all the breaking news.
The Pat Kenny Show.
With Jaguar.
Tomorrow morning at 9.
On News Talk.
Relax this evening and visit itsforwomen.ie. Great value car insurance for those on the go. Get the cover you need day or night at itsforwomen.ie. It's time to own it.
At Guaranteed Irish, we believe enterprise is at the heart of thriving communities.
Like Black Knight, the #1 Irish web host. From small beginnings in 2003, today Black Knight hosts more Irish websites than anyone else, offering email, domains and a range of business services. Operating locally and trading internationally, the Black Knight team in Carlow supports 84,000 customers in 130 countries. Guaranteed Irish welcomes companies that are altogether better choices for our communities. So look out for it. GuaranteedIrish.ie. Altogether better.
At Expert Electrical Stores, we know no mess is ever the same. That's why we love the new 3-in-1 Miele Triflex cordless vacuum. A handheld for mini messes, an upright for big spreads, reach mode for difficult spaces. Discover the flexibility of the Miele Triflex cordless vacuum at Expert Electrical Stores nationwide and expert.ie.
You've just clicked on Clayton.
Did you pack your black shirt? Hello, welcome.
And now, you've arrived. And it's the moment your head sinks into the crisp, plump pillow on a bed that you'll never have to make. So, why don't you click on Clayton and book your spring break? Clayton Hotels, where every moment matters.
With Virgin Mobile, there's nothing hidden. Now you can try unlimited 4G data, calls and texts for only €15 a month for 12 months. All on a 30-day contract. And better yet, everyone can try it. It's an offer that's bigger than big. See virginmobile.ie. Virgin Mobile. Nothing hidden.
Fair usage and T's and C's apply. €25 a month after offer. Ends 3rd of June 2020.
And welcome to today's racing at Cheltenham, and they're off. The Irish Mirror, today's favourite, is already out in front, but each and every day there's interviews with riders on the inside, followed by views from traders, and coming through is our resident tipster, alongside live information on the day as they come into the final.
Get into Cheltenham. Get into the Irish Mirror. In print and online at irishmirror.ie.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Okay, welcome back. Joe Molloy, Damien, Delaney, Kenny Cunningham here in the studio. PSG 2, Borussia Dortmund 0, 66 minutes on the clock. That is PSG going through on aggregate. And it's still at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Atletico 0. Trent Alexander-Arnold shoots, saved, and rebound to Robertson, and it's out for a corner.
It's all Liverpool right now. They really are cranking it up.
They hit the crossbar during the ad break. Robertson with a header. Describe.
Yeah, Trippier done really well. Salah gets the ball in the inside right channel, shapes as he normally does to kind of bend it in the far stick, and actually drags it to his right foot. Has a shot that gets deflected up, and Robertson arrives like a steam train. And Kieran Trippier, in fairness to him, just got a hand on him, and he headed it off the bar. Possibly you could say he could score, but it was good defending.
What Trippier did there, just staying with him eking the last kind of inch out of what he can do with himself.
So as he commits to head it,
just like any even the slightest way I can put this guy off, I'm going to get the maximum I can. It's a very Atletico Madrid thing, isn't it?
No, it is, but it's amazing. Most opposition teams in this situation, if you're saying they're cracking up here, you know, it's only a matter of time before they fold, but you get a bit of a sense of Atletico, they're quite enjoying this. You know what I mean? It's like it's where they expect it to be. You know what I mean? And they're not actually fazed by it. They're hanging a little bit, but it's almost as if like, yeah, this is where we want to be. You get a little bit of a sense of that. So, like I said, Liverpool have got to be even 2-0. Liverpool get the second goal. It's still all to play for. That's how precarious it is. But Liverpool are in a good place. Yeah. They're pushing. They're creating chances, but you can write off this team.
Trent's been unbelievable. It's one of the best games I've seen him play for Liverpool, and we said that after we criticised him after the first leg, or said that he didn't have a great night, but my God, he's getting shots off, crosses in, and oh my God, Salah does it again.
Okay, well, that wasn't great, but I think it's worth stating because he's
doing all right.
He's been doing okay.
He's done brilliant. I know. He's been brilliant, but then he lets the ball run under his foot.
Yeah. I just can't. If someone's listening, they think we're hammering him every time, but actually he's had a lot.
He's been there. He's been Liverpool's
moments.
best player, but then he has these moments like someone passing him a ball and he's in 40 yards of space, and he just obviously takes his eye off it and it rolls under his foot. Yeah. I mean, they're the little moments.
But by comparison with Mane, who's the left hand side's not really functioning for Liverpool all that much, and then it's busy where Firmino is. Salah of the front three has been on the ball by a distance.
Yeah, but what's functioning? It's not just Salah down that right hand side. It's Oxlade Chamberlain. When Salah drops wide and opens up the channel, that's his trigger to drive in that inside channel. He's been very effective doing that, so they've kind of dovetailed quite well. Yeah. And you're right, that's where they're looking the most threatening down that right hand side.
So that is where we are after 70 minutes. Trent Alexander-Arnold about to whip in a corner. His delivery all night, I don't think he's put in a bad cross as such, or a bad delivery all evening. I've jinxed him now. Here we go. Cross, near post. Doesn't beat the front man. Terrible.
Just as you said it, I went, don't.
At one stage during the ad break there, you didn't like what Van Dijk was doing off the ball, Kenny.
What was that?
When he was holding the high line and didn't drop.
There's always just repeating myself. I'm bored of talking about it myself. It's not happening on every occasion, but like I said, at this level, you just got to be careful. Yeah, great squeeze, keep that, push everybody up the pitch, keep that compact shape, go hunting the ball, but be aware of that one ball over the top. Where's the runner coming from? Keep checking your shoulder. And be ready for it.
Not to labour the point, but would you not say that there's a little bit of method in what he's doing, because it happens so often, yet people don't get in that often. I mean, once a game I'd say he might get caught with it, but so what I'm saying is what he's doing is he's hedging his bets to his midfield players will get enough pressure on it that they won't be able to play a ball, and even when they do get to play a ball, I'm hedging my goalkeeper's going to be there as well, so
once is too often for me. Be better. Strive for perfection. Be right every single time. Get your decision making right every single time. I take the point what you're saying, but be greedy. Try and be even better, because you're saying that one chance in the game at this level. That one, giving up one chance to Atletico now in the remaining 20 minutes of this game probably sends them out of Champions League.
All Black just came and took a ball there. He's fantastic,
isn't he?
Yeah,
he is.
He's top goalkeeper.
His decision making, his presence, his everything about him is just.
He's made some good saves as well.
Yeah, look, he's brilliant. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him in the Premier League at some point.
So that's where we are. Liverpool in possession in their own half. They're still, 72 minutes. Yeah, 72 minutes on the clock. As you said, even if they score a second, things get precarious for them. Have they kept a good balance, lads, between going after this game, trying to score goals, and also not leaving themselves wide open? Because the 2-on-2 where Felix shot and it was parried by Adrian, that seems like about the only moment they left themselves in a 2v2 and got caught.
Yeah, it's just a small one. It's not much, Joe. It's just a case of maybe one defender just adjusting their position, maybe 5 yards either way. That's Henderson 5 yards deeper, two centre halves a little bit closer. That's all we're talking about.
When you get to the stage of the game as well as a player on the pitch, and I know I used to as well, is that I look at my manager for the substitutions he's making, because he's almost going to send a message with his substitutions. If he sends on Fabinho, he's going to be okay. We're just going to get this to extra time, and then we'll see how it goes. If he sticks on Minamino, as a player, going, we're going for this.
It's a message to everyone.
So in the next 2 minutes, Klopp's going to have to make a decision. Am I happy with how it's going, or am I really going for this now and start sticking on attacking players? And I think you should go for it, because there's so much in ascendancy. I mean, they are Liverpool of what they do. They're doing it brilliantly right now, and I think the game is there for them in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I won't be changing that.
I suspect you're not as
No,
cavalier.
I wouldn't be changing that. They're in the ascendancy. They're creating chances. I don't think that they're looking defensive. I know I made that point about João Felix. That was one small point I had to make. I think the balance of the team looks good. I wouldn't be changing anything. And the last thing I want to see is Fabinho coming off that bench onto the pitch in terms of making the team more defensively.
I think Minamino might make an appearance, or Milner possibly, and it might be like for like. So you're right in what you're saying. I think they might be, maybe Wijnaldum maybe for Milner maybe, or Minamino maybe. But yeah, I mean, there's not going to be anything drastic. But
I think it's looking good, Damien. I think
they look good. But how much do you want? Do you want fresh legs? Do you want to up the ante? Oh my God, what a turn!
Correa, clever.
This is Atletico in the Liverpool half. Bit of possession and a few players up. I mean, they don't often get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up deep in the half.
Correa's feet and tight areas is fantastic to watch.
They're just delaying the cross. They've 3 now, 4 in the box. It's blocked down. Liverpool defending hard. Salah closing the ball, but not well enough. Could be a bit of an opening here. Let's see. Has to be a free out. Yeah, it's a free out. We don't often see Atletico get those kind of numbers forward. They do pick their moments.
Definitely not in this half.
Yeah.
It's unlike them. They commit a lot of players. They usually get an end product there. They don't need an invitation to get across into the box. Kind of overplayed a little bit there. I thought took maybe 1 or 2 passes too much.
I'm just looking here outside PSG Stadium. The ultras are all outside the stadium and they're lighting flares and little fires and the flags are waving and it's ballistic out there. It's still 2-0 to PSG as things stand. Neymar scored the first and it was Jan Bernat who scored the second. He's just been booked. 69 minutes on the clock there. as Liverpool go on the attack again. Salah on the ball, and we'll see what they can muster up here. Comes to nothing.
Yeah, just out. Yeah, Oxlade-Chamberlain being a bit too clever there. I didn't think that.
He's just told someone to F off there, so it's either himself.
Yeah, just a little bit of frustration. I think Liverpool sensed they're on top and they're desperate for that second goal. They almost might feel as if we should have that second goal. So that's what I'm talking about. Just the emotions. You just got to temper those emotions so it doesn't affect your concentration levels and your decision making. Because generally, so far, it's been good from the Liverpool team, but. Yeah. This team don't go away. They just don't go away, Atletico.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think Atletico are well in this game. I mean, they're not getting absolutely peppered. It's just Liverpool are in the ascendancy, but they're still relatively comfortable in what they're doing. A couple of shots from distance, and but I mean, Atletico will be quite pleased with where they are.
Is it away goals in extra time? I need to double check that. Away goals still count in extra time, don't they?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, I would have thought so.
Too, yeah. That rule changes in different competitions from time to
They're
time.
mentally so tough, this team, Joe. They really are. You talk about, like, you know, they mirror their manager, people. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but mentally just can't beat this team down.
It's amazing how he does manage to get them all in that headspace. Like, even Trippier's a part of it now and loving it and, like, throwing himself into things. He's having a decent game, isn't he?
Yeah, Trippier's been fantastic. What a move for him getting out of Spurs when he did. Everyone was kind of looking at him, questioning it, and now it turns out to be a masterstroke.
Well, I mean, I don't think we'll get too much into the talking points I was going to bring up with you, but I see Dele Alli blames mental weakness for Spurs' collapse last night. I mean, there's mental weakness and a few other things besides. Did you watch that game last night?
I did, yeah. I wouldn't buy into that, the mental weakness. I just thought they were short in certain areas of the pitch last. Centre midfield was an obvious one for me. They just didn't have nobody in central midfield who could defensive mindset, who could tackle, track a runner. It's Lo Celso played in there, who's a number 10, where Harry Winks is a tidy footballer but can't defend. So there's basic fundamentals at play there for me. It wasn't so much a mindset. It was just in case of, like,
you can't expect players walking
hugely short in certain areas of the pitch.
What did you make of Eric Dyer? He was catching our eye quite a bit last night for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, well, I'm amazed at Dyer. I've looked at him since. I was a huge fan of Dyer the last couple of years since he's played for Spurs. I saw him play at right back for a year and a half. Outstanding athlete, lovely footballer, temperament. Went into centre midfield, play at centre half, versatile. Absolutely lovely player. I thought he was going to develop into a top class player. But he's been out of the team injured this year and he's come back in and he's way off. Physically, he looks as if he's carrying weight. That's a funny thing to say, but he looks lumpy, he looks heavy.
Looks stiff.
Damien can't move over the ground, like.
Yeah. Did you notice on the TV, if you were watching it, you would have seen it, like even some of his clearances, they were even saying it just looks casual and, you know, just like he's struggling.
Now for him in centre midfield, like 2 years ago, someone to hold the centre of that pitch together, will sit in there, see danger, disrupt attacks, just keep it simple, set up attacks. And they haven't. If he can't do it, nobody can do it in that team at the moment, that Tottenham team.
He does look heavy.
That for me is that's a massive weakness in that Tottenham team. Talk about Harry Kane coming back to him, son, doesn't change that fundamental issue, that problem that they have in that central midfield area. Yeah. He's got to resolve that in the summer. He's got to go and boy big in that area of the pitch.
I'm sure Daniel Levy will love that. So the message from Jurgen Klopp is clear. James Milner, that means, lads, nothing silly.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it has to. Well, I'm guessing kind of Wijnaldum. Who are you thinking?
Is Henderson short on football?
Possibly, man. My first thing would be Henderson, and then it would be very like for like. Just James Milner would go in there and fill in the role that Henderson has been doing so well tonight.
We don't know how fit he is. You know, I think he only trained for the first chance for Salah. If the touch is good.
No.
Which it's not.
Wasn't easy for his touch when it was kind of he had to take on the half volley coming quickly off the turf.
Very generous. I think 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he traps that.
No.
2 years ago, okay, he's bounced a bit away from him.
At his guts coming up, now that midriff one, Damien.
I thought it bounced closer to him.
The Milner one's a really interesting one for me. I know Henderson physically, but
he only trained for the first time Sunday, so he's 2 days training.
Yeah, but he's smart. He doesn't have to do like too many 35. He's got to sit in front of those two centre halves and just snuff out danger, organise people around them, just move the pieces around the chessboard.
Who's on the edge?
Robertson.
That was a chance. Can we agree on that?
That was well worked.
What kind of chance, Joe? Right chance?
A good chance. A notable chance. Edge of the area.
Notable chance, I'll give you.
He just sliced it, didn't he? He was trying to welly it in.
Costa just got out there in his face, didn't he? Just got in his peripheral vision there, just made it happen.
Trent Alexander-Arnold got to the end line and pulled it back, and Robertson had a decent old run up to it and just kind of sliced it high and left. And here's Milner. We'll see who's coming on for.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't Henderson. 15. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Wow.
We're sitting pretty, lads.
Maybe he's
running for penalties.
Maybe he is shutting up shop a little bit.
Has he been short on game time?
No, I think he trusts Wijnaldum, funnily enough, a little bit more out possession the ball than Oxlade-Chamberlain.
It's a very functional midfield now if it goes to extra time.
Yes.
It takes out what's been really, really good with them.
I don't change anything. I don't see the need for a change.
He's running out of steam.
He made a lot of those high intensity sprints.
He's still been making them up to the last couple of minutes. I'd be sticking with that team for as long as possible.
82 minutes on the clock. We're going to take a short ad break. So it's 1-0 Liverpool, 1-1 on aggregate. Milner on for Oxlade-Chamberlain is the first substitution. And it's still 2-0 to PSG against Borussia Dortmund behind closed doors in Paris. That is PSG going through. They are 3-2 up on aggregate. We're back in one more sec.
On legal advice, I'm
good chance. Good to very good, I would say.
Chance.
If not for Mo Salah, even for Mo Salah, a particularly good chance, I would say, Kenny.
He's done great. He's done great to get into that position, isn't he?
Here's Mane. Can he get a shot away? Can't. Has to check out. Cross comes in from Robertson. Back to Salah. Can Trent hit it? Oh, blocked.
Liverpool are absolutely piling under pressure. This is like Liverpool that you expect now, just throw the kitchen sink.
3 minutes to go. It's still 1-0 to Liverpool, 1-1 on aggregate, out for a corner. Describe the Salah chance. People will be able to visualise this Salah opportunity because he's done it a gazillion times.
Yeah, nice and positive, committed a couple of people, drifted back on, drove into the box on his left-hand side, and I think it just suggested to me the fact he tried to put his laces through and smash it. I think when he was at his very best and confidence is at his highest, I think he actually caresses that with the inside of his foot into the top corner. You know, with a bit of power, but just more precise. When he got the confidence, almost just to pass it into the top corner.
I'm going to place this so well, you won't save it. That kind of confidence.
Yeah, that's it. It was a bit at the last death. I'm just going to smash this as much as so desperate to get it on target in the goal. Almost a little bit of that I sensed.
And woof over the bar. Never really on target. Big chance for him. So.
Mane overhead kick there a few minutes before Mane, one of the Wijnaldum header back across, great athleticism, made a great connection with it just over the bar, but some great defending as well from it. We'd have to say it. It's no coincidence, blocks, getting bodies in front of the ball, last ditch tackles, it's not just coincidence. Like really, really good defending on the edge of their box, and that can get into the heads of a team, when you're pushing the death for that second goal, it's not coming. It's, those demons start coming into your head a little bit. Is it going to be our night? Is it going to happen for us? Yeah.
It's going to be our night.
They're really having a good go now, Liverpool, in fairness to them.
Oh, Salah tried to nip one forward, but it was never really on. Is there
still where we are? We're still where we are almost at the start of the game.
Is there an argument, okay, just for a moment, all Liverpool's best players have been down the right-hand side, just for 10 minutes, Mane, come out here, Mo, you go over there. Let's give Mane a chance. It seems to be a little bit of space, whatever it's working.
No, there's no way you would change that.
Just to get someone else in the ball.
Why would you change the best thing that's happening for your team?
But the thing is, where he's getting his joy, Salah, is because he's driving inside onto that left foot, onto his strong side.
Mane, I've done it once.
Yeah, I no problem with it. 5 minutes, just give him something a little bit different to think about. Absolutely.
He's getting so much joy there. You just leave him at it, and hopefully he does score one of those.
I mean, you've got about a minute to do it, Mo. So
they're doing nothing wrong, Liverpool, Joe. There's no reason to panic. Just again, it's patience. Same, trust what you're doing. Trust each other. Keep probing. Keep getting the ball into those wide areas. Getting the little overloads. Good quality crosses into the box. Committing players, not too many. Ring the edge of the box, recycle the next ball, keep pushing.
What a ball!
Oh, great ball from Alexander-Arnold.
Went on a crossing clinic tonight, honestly.
Just a fraction too high for Mane, who was waiting in the box. Here's Mo, turns, shoots. Oh, that was tidy. That's more like it. Sharp.
Yeah, but that's just good. But so the cross from outside chamber, Alexander overhit, but they recycled the next one. They switched onto the second one. They recycle it, put it into Salah at the edge of the box. Doesn't quite, but they're pushing, they're probing, they're banging on. That's all you can do.
Lads, why is Firmino getting so little ball?
The distances are so small, and the distance between the two Atletico centre halves, the two centre midfielders, wide men narrowing up, two centre forwards. That's a difficult area to play, to find that type of space to go and influence the game.
It goes
very frustrating for him.
It goes back to what you and me spoke about last week, where you want your number 9 to stay high and stay central, to keep the centre halves. So those little runs from Oxlade-Chamberlain to get in. Whereas if he starts drifting out there and starts trying to get involved, he'll bring centre halves with him, and it all gets clogged up. He has to play a very, very disciplined role.
So he'll be sitting there feeling, I'm not in the game. He's
doing a great job for the team.
It's important to do it.
Very, very much so.
Fair enough. We are into added time. There's been the ball's been in play for most of this second half, and therefore, quite unusually, there are only 2 minutes of added time. Atletico could be away on the break here. João Felix is going to get the ball, is he? He is, and he just gets barged over. That's a good foul.
That's not a good foul. That's not a good foul, Joe.
It's going nowhere.
Bad foul, Joe.
I'll tell you why it's a bad foul. Because João Felix was isolated, and now they're going to be able to get several players into Liverpool's box for a free kick, Kenny. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the best around in terms of the quality delivery into the box, that bit of imagination we spoke. They're going to be set up for this. It's a really dangerous situation. Great Alexander-Arnold coming back, head down, wanting to help out the team. He'd done the hard bit. Be
just
patient, calm. Yeah, calm down.
How many will Atletico throw into that box?
For me, it's all about delivery. For me, this is crying out for an outswinger,
2, 3.
a left footer, as opposed to that in swinger. I think that's where the high defensive line here from Liverpool, and it's going to be a loaded left back.
It leaves the gap.
This is what I'm talking about, Simone. Switched on. This is crying out for that left footer outswinger.
Here it goes. There's a decent window to get that ball into. Chance.
Oh my God! Go scored. Oh, he's offside.
Is it offside?
Oh, you think? Oh, I don't know.
It's offside.
Oh my God! What a ball in, by the way, right on the money, middle of goal. Come here, look at that, please.
Trent Alexander-Arnold just heaved a sigh of relief.
Massive, absolutely massive.
Great ball. It was everything about this was good.
Yeah, he was offside actually. He stood well offside.
Yeah, and it was the bloke who started even the furthest offside who was offside. So
he's supposed to get back onside first, and then.
But everything you said, Kenny, there was the gap. Left footer, outswinger, put it into the gap, and hopefully it finds someone's head, and it did, and that is a massive let off.
It's just as well it went to Sell, because there was a runner who came from deeper that ended up in front of him who would have been onside.
Yeah.
Damien, if it had to come to him, and he wouldn't have been flagged offside.
Great header, wasn't it?
It was very strange though to see a player against Liverpool standing on the penalty spot getting a free header, and couldn't know why, because he was stood in an offside position from the very start.
Yeah.
You know, he was stood in an offside position, and he's hoping the line drops to bring him back onside. It didn't, and
I think when you see, for me, if I'm a defender in there, I think it's great the high defensive line, but when I see a left footer step over that ball there, as
drop a bit deeper.
I'm dropping another 3 to 5 yards.
But then
I'm protecting that space a little bit more.
But that puts him onside then, so it takes some amount of bravery to hold that line and leave him in there. I mean, it takes some amount of training that, by the way.
Yeah, especially last minute, he's there. Oh, I'll just take a chance and sit in him. I'm not risking it. They held the line really well. It's gone full time. We should say that, listeners. You wouldn't have seen that. Full time whistle is gone. So extra time beckons. 1-1 Liverpool, 1-0 in the night. Over in Paris, still 2-0 to PSG, and Emre Can's been sent off in that game, by the way. So it's 2-0 to PSG, 3-2 on aggregate, and I presume they're just waiting for the full time whistle there, and then PSG will go through. So extra time. It's exactly the same, really, isn't it? Not much changes.
Nothing's changed. We're exactly where we were at the start of the game for me, really. Very little has changed. I think Liverpool will be happy where they are, but at the same time, I think Atletico will be happy where they are as well.
But on top of that as well, Liverpool have kind of made a change in the midfield now, and they've got a very industrious kind of midfield, but you're hoping the rhythm of the game is already kind of imprinted on it.
It's opened up a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Milner coming on isn't the most creative, and if Liverpool start being a little bit more defensive now in extra time, because there's been a break in the play now, so when the game restarts,
tightens up again.
You could understand if it starts in a different
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to know what to predict. It's no great psychological blow or boost for either side getting to extra time.
I think very little's changed for me. Very little is changed. I think it's just what's going on between the ears of the players now. The words and the managers speaking to the players now, just getting that air of calmness on. I don't think this is a situation where the crowd energy, they need a lot of madness inside the stadium now. I think they've got to actually step away from that, the Liverpool players. The crowd might look to get themselves involved, but just stay detached from it. Just stick to the game plan. Where are we getting our joy? In the wide area, Salah, those inside gullies that we've been talking about. Personally, I wouldn't take Oxlade-Chamberlain off. There might be issues there as fitness. I didn't really see it, because I felt that was a real threat for them. Those darting runs in that inside right channel, haven't got that so much now. Wijnaldum maybe to a certain extent, but that's where they're getting their joy. Wide areas, feeding Salah 1v1 situations, Mane, little combinations if they can, good quality delivery into the box, and not overly committing, Joe. Always one eye on the counter-attack. Edge of the box, Henderson patrolling the edge of that box, the two centre-halves in behind. No way do we get caught on the counter-attack. Kind of basic fundamentals to Liverpool don't have to do anything different to what they've been doing every week, all season, week in, week out, all season. Just more and more it is saying, just take one of those chances, another one of those chances when they arrive.
Yeah, Atletico don't change much, I presume, either.
No, but I think they'll certainly be encouraged that as they got into extra time now, they'll back themselves, that they can take a little bit of a share of the game back, and I know the game finishing just would break Liverpool's rhythm, the momentum that they were building, because that was building from half-time really, and it kind of came to a crescendo 75 minutes in.
Yeah.
But hopefully now with the break, Atletico will go out and they'll hope the game will just dip into a lull again,
Yeah, because they were dominated a bit more in that second half.
Oh, they were. Liverpool were building all the way
half.
through,
Yeah, okay. Well, we're about to go again first half of extra time is about to start. Carl says, tell you what, lads, the last thing you want is lumpy movements. That's a good point. Lumpy movements, Kenny. I don't know what a lumpy movement is. It's not good. You said Costa, lumpy movement all night.
That's a little bit of toilet humour coming into play there. I'm going to stay away from it.
Dear. The tension of the night's getting to Kenny. He's having a nibble at everyone. Is he having Burdock's withdrawal symptoms, says Sean. I'm surprised Burdock's haven't sent something over to us. Substitution for Atletico?
Yeah, like for like really for Schalke. Good player. He's a bit unfortunate actually to be out of the team ahead of Trippier, but yeah, decent player as well. Defensively solid. Probably hasn't, not as productive maybe as Trippier higher up the pitch, but he's a solid defender.
Yeah,
they've got a good one on the bench in Morata as well, still to go. So I wonder is he keeping that in his back pocket now to get him on in extra time, and he is a finisher, Morata. So it's as I said earlier, Atletico won't be too disappointed with where they are right now.
I think he'll push ever so slightly, but only in terms of personnel. Maybe Correa off, like Damien saying, Morata on shape won't change. In terms of their patterns of play won't change, won't get overly cavalier. Just maybe a little bit of maybe
but they have enough
personnel.
firepower there, to get him on and make it a little bit interesting.
Okay, we are done on the radio because, well, we're done on the radio and that is the time. We're going to keep an eye on this game. Obviously, we're going to stay here watching the game, and we'll probably do bits online as well. So you can get us at offtheball.com or OTB Sports Radio. If you've no way of getting to a TV, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on. In the meantime, here on News Talk, and I'm sure Tom will keep you up to date with things as well. Tom Dunn is on the way. So that's what's happening. We're going to stay on offtheball.com or OTB Sports Radio. Tom Dunn is on the way next here on News Talk.
drove to the edge of the penalty box, put an early cross into the box. Firmino's the only one in the box, but he got in between Savic and Versalco, done exactly the right thing, similar to the Ronaldo header, powered it down into the ground, hit the post, and typical Firmino. He's the coolest man in the stadium, doesn't panic, first time opens his body up, brilliant finish.
He makes that finish. I mean, it is an easy finish, but as you said, the calmness. He just pops. It's like he's in training doing a little warm-up drill.
Yeah, it is.
Pops it into the net.
Yeah, so but 2-0. You're still. We must be, because I know inside myself, I'm reluctant to celebrate because it's still precarious. That's the beauty. Precarious. Yeah, the away goal. Atletico, how good they are in this situation, mentally strong, no heads drop, still that belief, stay in this game, we're still in it, something will happen, keep going. And the first goal came absolutely nothing, goalkeeping error. It's as simple as that. But what I'd say is João Felix, for me, in that moment, when he passed that ball to Llorente for the goal, justified his whole selection for the evening. Spoke about before the game, would he play this kid? Very creative, not the most offensively minded, could be a passenger out, possession of the football. But Simeone put him in the team, and he put him in the team because he probably said to him before the game, give me one moment. Make the difference at one moment during the course of that game. And when the keeper shanked that ball to his feet, he was 35 yards out, Joe. He could have panicked, he could have shot first time and looked to dink the goalkeeper. There was space in front of him. He could have dribbled, but he didn't. Immediately assess the situation, saw Llorente, the position he was in, 5-10 yards in advance. That was the percentage pass to play. That's what he did. Llorente side foot into the corner of the net. So in that one moment, young kid, João Felix, great talent, but made a crucial right decision at the right moment for his team. And that was the killer. That's the killer goal. Second goal has come.
Can I just pause you there for a second? There's probably people listening saying, hang on, the keeper shanked it? What did Adrian do exactly?
Yeah, but it was...
The ball was played back to him. He tried
played
to
back to him from Trent Alexander. You see, you think there's no danger, but I'd even reference Correa up front for Atletico. So weak. He's run himself into the ground, Joe. When that ball was passed back to Adrian, could easily have put the brakes on. He's not going to get it. And if he'd have put the brakes on, Adrian takes a touch there, steadies himself and kicks that ball 50 yards up the pitch. But his initial reaction, those lungs are burning, his initial reaction was, I'm going to sprint the first 10 yards. I'm not going to get there, but I'm going to get in that keeper's peripheral vision and I'm going to see, can I just rush him? Can I panic him into taking that first time, make it a more difficult clearance? And that's what he did. Tried to take it first time, didn't make the connection and kind of scuttled it along the ground to João Felix. Small detail, Joe, small detail.
It's the Atletico way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
A bit like Trippier putting Robertson off that header off the crossbar in the first half.
Yeah.
Whatever little thing I can do, I will do it.
Yeah.
So that was Firmino, 94th minute. Llorente, 97th minute. So that is Atletico in a great position, and Liverpool need to score another goal. And then Liverpool are pushing and pushing and pushing. They're on the 18-yard line, Atletico's 18-yard line. And from that moment, Atletico, do very well, actually, to knock Liverpool off balance and put them under pressure. They weren't just passive on the 18-yard line. They were nipping at them. They were coming out. They were putting them under pressure. And when they did win the ball, Llorente runs the length of the pitch off the ball.
Oh, Joe, it was absolutely amazing. I spoke about Atletico on the first leg in the Metropolitano. For me, they disappointed me in terms of the counter-attack transition when they won the ball deep, weren't good enough to break quickly and get up the pitch. This was a classic example of counter-attacking football at its best. Llorente doubling up inside his own penalty box with his full-back, winning back possession, passing the ball to Morata. You still think no big danger. Liverpool have the two centre-halves back. Jordan Henderson's recovering, but Llorente just opens his legs up. He's a great athlete, this kid, and just drives forward, giving Morata an out ball. He senses there's space over the other side of the pitch. He drifts into a central position and basically just saying to Morata, give me the ball. Give me the ball. He does. He squares it to him. He's got Joe Gomez in front of him. A 1v1 situation. Even then, Joe, you're looking at it, you're not panicking.
No.
Jordan Henderson's trying to get back. He actually does get back, Jordan Henderson. But again, talk about calmness personified. Llorente doesn't panic, shifts it onto his right foot and just finds a little avenue there for a side-footed pass. I'm waiting for Henderson just to get his left foot up. Can he just get that
avenue?
Little bit of slight bit of physical fatigue, maybe. Talking about Correa, head down, making those hard 10 yards, forcing Adrian to kick that ball first time. Henderson again, run himself into the ground. It's been a really good performance. Can he get that?
He's trying.
Legs are aching.
He knows he has to lift his leg
But brilliant counter-attack and precision on the finish again, Joe. Brilliant counter-attack on football from Atletico. You have to admire it, Joe.
No, it's stunning.
Liverpool haven't done an awful lot wrong here. The general performance has been good. Liverpool, for me, have almost in terms of game plan, done exactly what they needed to do tonight.
Yeah.
The setup of the team from the very start, for me, has been absolutely perfect. Attitude of the players, how they've gone about their business, chances created, created as many chances as I thought they could have against this Atletico team. Got them into position eventually, keep calm, be patient, wait. It's exactly what they've done, and they've got themselves into that enviable position that they wanted to do, 2-0 up. Now can you see the game out? Detail comes back to, and we've spoken about the 2 Atletico goals.
Yeah.
Just haven't been able to do the smallest detail, Joe, at this level cost you of a huge amount of sympathy for Liverpool. I think they're going out. Can they get another 2 goals? Let's hope so. I don't think they're going to do it. For me, I think they're out, and I can't beat them up. I can't beat that Liverpool side up, generally speaking, in terms of performance.
No, it's just Atletico waited, stayed in the game and took their chances. The Adriad thing is a sickener. I mean, if Alisson's in goal, they're not in this position. But really, it's just been brilliant from Atletico in many ways. I see Fabinho's on now. I must check who he came on for. You didn't see, Kenny, did you? I'll have a look here.
No, I did. I know.
Wijnaldum is off.
Yeah,
Henderson is off as well.
Henderson's off, yeah.
That's who it is.
Joe, the offside rule as well, let's give it a mention. Why we've been talking about, precarious, nothing changes, still on the knife edge. Why? That bloody offside goal. I know Liverpool supporters are going to be cursing themselves, but it's really come into play tonight in terms of Atletico getting that away goal, what it actually meant. Liverpool 1-0 up, 2-0 up, still doesn't matter. Atletico knowing that away goals sends them through. The away goal, exactly.
You were saying offside, sorry.
Excuse me, sorry. The away goal, it's always in the background there, always in the back of the minds of the players, you know what I mean? Playing on the mind, creating that little bit of tension. That as a player, you have to deal with that as well. A lot of talk some time ago about, I'll get rid of that away goal, excuse me. Really, do we need it? Teams are attacking away from home, man. Do we really need it? You know, it's
not like you have to get the boat across the channel anymore. It's not that big an advantage.
Yeah, but it's really been at its best tonight at play in terms of how it really affected the game, the mentality of the players, kept Atletico players interested because they knew just keep hanging in, keep the mentality strong.
Yeah.
We'll get that one chance. We'll force that one mistake.
Yeah. We're streaming this, so I appreciate that. So you may be watching this an hour or two after kickoff, and Jurgen Klopp may have come into his press conference and said, "Well, I didn't want to take off Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He had an injury. It was Adam, so we had to take him off." But if it turns out he was totally fit, you thought he was having a fantastic game, and it was having a big influence in this game, and he was taken off from Milner.
Yeah, I wouldn't be overly critical of it. Me at the time, I know Damien, and I know Damien was saying in terms of looking maybe tweak one or two changes here. I didn't see anything wrong with the Liverpool performance up to that point of substitution. Now, I understand Oxlade-Chamberlain, it might be a little bit different in terms of physios, might know a little bit more than I do. I wouldn't be in a rush to change it. But that said, I'm not going to say the whole dynamic changed when he came off the pitch, Joe. I don't think that, there wasn't a big, massive drop-off in terms of the Liverpool performance. So I'm not saying Liverpool lost that game because Oxlade-Chamberlain...
But once they needed a goal...
Well, exactly. Once they needed that goal, it got back to 2-1. I'm looking at that pitch thinking, right, if I need to bring a player, who do I take off? And I'm looking at James Milner, who's come on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the quite easy in hindsight, I know. And I wouldn't level that at Klopp. He's made the wrong decision taking Oxlade-Chamberlain off. Because at the end of the day, it's an individual error by Adrian. It's cost the first goal. And it, for me, has indirectly led to the second goal.
And it was arguably the righter thing to start with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, which he did. You know, he went for it from the off.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Joe. I mean, Liverpool are going to win this game, but I can't. I'm struggling to be any way critical of that Liverpool the Liverpool performances, set up individual performances within that. Not one player I could point my finger at and say, do you know what, a little bit off what I would have expected.
Yeah, Adrian's the only one you'd swap out, but that couldn't be helped. That was just the cards they were dealt, you know, and it's the wrong loss to the wrong player at the wrong time, and suddenly here they are. 113 minutes on the clock, so it's 2-2. PSG are through, by the way. I should have mentioned that in case you hadn't heard. They beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0 tonight. It's a good result.
When was Emre Can sent off, do you want me asking?
89th minute, so it didn't actually have any bearing.
Yeah.
Neymar scored on 28 minutes. Bernat scored in 45, and that put them in the driving seat. And Borussia Dortmund.
I've taped the game. I'm going to watch. I've taped the game. I'm going to go back and watch. I thought they'd scored tonight, Borussia Dortmund.
And look here, shots on target. PSG 4, Dortmund had 2. Dortmund had 5 off target to PSG's 2. Possession was 51-49.
pretty even in that respect.
Sounds a close enough game, yeah.
So, look, this is a blow for Liverpool. This is a pity. They are still going to win the league. They're out of the FA Cup. Now they're out of the Champions League. I'm not suggesting it's going to be an anticlimax in any way, but it does take any of the intrigue in the season out of it.
Yeah, it seems ridiculous to even think of making the argument, Liverpool's season petering out, when they're literally going to be crowned champions probably the next 2 to 3 weeks. I've not had the league title for 2. It's ridiculous. It is. I feel an idiot even suggesting it. This is a bit of a damn squib now for Liverpool, isn't it?
What do you feel in your heart, though?
But I do. I suppose what I'm saying is I do, because I just felt as if it was not there for the take of the Champions League. No, it's not. It's not easy to win that competition.
They're the best team in Europe.
But that's what I'm saying. Just in terms of how they set up, how they play, I just felt as if they had the edge on the rest of the teams left in this competition.
Yeah.
But by virtue of the nature of the competition, the knockout nature of that away goal, this can happen without a massive drop-off in terms of performance, without putting in a subpar performance, because that hasn't been the case.
Yes.
Liverpool have played well this evening, but they're still going to go out.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and look, the public health situation obviously is ever changing at the moment, so who knows even if the games happen. I mean, certainly they're going to be going behind closed doors very soon, so like everything is up in the air as things stand, potentially even the Champions League. But for Liverpool, even if things progress normally, it's just a countdown to winning the league. I mean, imagine winning the league even behind closed doors, no fans there. You know, there's just the strange dynamics at play, and that's why tonight is such a blow, because
I'll be devastated if that happened, Joe. I mean, at the very least, I think, because like what they've achieved this season, it's been absolutely phenomenal.
They deserve that lap of honour.
Yeah, I think, exactly. I don't think anybody would begrudge them that in terms of celebrating that league title in front of their home support. At the very least, that's what they deserve, and I hope they get that, and I hope they celebrate it, and they should, and they will. And they'll really enjoy the day, the supporters, and it'll be magnificent. It'll be thoroughly deserved. But the conversation very quickly for me then will come around to, and it's interesting, you've touched upon it already in terms of Salah. How does Klopp see it next season? Does he look at this squad and think, I don't need to tinker with this squad? We've won the league by 20-odd points. There's an argument there for saying, what would you change anything there? Or does Klopp look at that and think, yeah, but I might just need to be bold here. I might need to be bold here and make a decision that might just make everything, oof, really? And that type of decision would be for me, Salah out the door, Jadon Sancho in. That type of decision. Whoa, really? Or does he stick with what he's got and maybe just look to tinker at the edges in terms of the squad? Does he go and get a better keeper, reserve team goalkeeper? Does Adrian go, he gets a better quality keeper in his reserve? That's not easy to do. Not easy to get a top quality keeper to come and sit and play second fiddle to Alisson. Does he go and reinforce maybe in other areas of the pitch? Maybe a full back. You know, Robertson's had a great season, almost uninjured, but does he go and reinforce maybe there? 2 top quality left backs. I like the Welsh boy Williams at right back who's come in and played. He looks a real talent. Don't think he has to do a huge amount there. You know, just shuffle the pack. Shaqiri out, another one in.
Yeah. Just on Salah, as a matter of interest, who might actually get a bit of a rest this summer, unless there's something I'm completely overlooking, but he might get a rest. Do you think Salah at 27, you know, he had this incredible season that was almost unrepeatable. Do you think that was a freak season where he overachieved, or do you think with a bit of a rest or whatever he can get back to that level again, or maybe he's just a lot of games played, a lot of miles on the clock, that maybe he's just hit his peak a bit early? What's your read on Salah?
This is fascinating because I think for me that's what Klopp has to make a judgment call on those things before he makes the decision where he shows him the door.
Can the sports science lads check that now?
I think they can. They'll get all the input. I think you're right. He's played a huge volume of games. So then you're talking the argument. Are we looking at a bit of physical fatigue? He's not as dynamic over the ground, kind of 10, 15 yards. I think that's obvious. But you can't argue with his numbers.
No.
There's still not a strong argument there for he's got to go out the door. The thing about Liverpool, the fascinating thing, people would say, keep Salah, go and buy Timo Werner, just go and get another top.
Yes.
But it's not as easy as that, Joe.
Because you've got Salah unhappy on the bench.
Yeah, the reason you've got the dynamic, those front threes, they know they're fit, they play. Timo Werner isn't going to, Jadon Sancho isn't going to sign for Liverpool, for me, with those three still at the football club, because he's going to think, he's going to sit down with Klopp and say, sorry, where are you going to play me?
Yeah.
Who am I going to play instead of? Well, no, you're going to play your fair share. Yeah, good one.
Who plays against Atletico? That's going to be his question.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the kind of, for me, Timo Werner, Jadon Sancho only comes into Liverpool if he's prepared to sacrifice one of those front three players. The ideal solution is, get another one, get 2, get 5 top-class forwards, but you can't manage players like that in a dressing room.
And Klopp said that last year when, over the summer, he was asked, why haven't you brought anyone in? He said, we've got a good bunch here, we've got a good dressing room. That's just as important.
Yeah. And that's
so he's aware of that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The likes of Shaqiri, Minamino, they're not going to be happy not playing every week, but they'll kind of accept it to a point. Yeah, exactly. They'll understand their role within the team. Jadon Sancho isn't going to understand sitting on the bench every second game. And if you've got an unhappy player, high profile, big sign, and in the dressing room, not happy, letting it be known he's not happy, that's when the cracks start to appear. And that kind of atmosphere.
Offside. Is it offside? Morata's in. Oh, I don't think it is offside.
I thought he was on. My gut reaction was he's on.
They're still celebrating. Oh, Diego Simeone's run down to the Atletico fans. They're going berserk.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The game's over, Joe. It's irrelevant. It's a great finish, don't get me wrong, but
it's not irrelevant to those Atletico fans right now. What a moment for them. What a moment for them. We'll get another look at this goal. I mean, we were chatting away here about next season, and obviously, things happen. So they've cut to Klopp. He stood there on the sideline. They've cut to Van Dijk on the camera, Robertson. They've known the game has been over for some time, but now it's really sinking in. It's about to go full time. It's not the way they want to finish it. And really, Liverpool are just caught here. Is that Van Dijk who steps up? And then he's caught in behind. It's a really good one too, Kenny, and the finish from Morata is excellent.
Yeah, it's Joe Gomez, actually. I really wouldn't read into it. The game's over, your head's spinning, you're all over the place.
Just describing it for people who can't see it.
Yeah, no, they got that high defensive line. Morata just sucks Joe Gomez in, plays a quick 1-2, just drifts into the space behind him, gets played in. Normally you break it down, you say, oh, Joe Gomez, you got to anticipate, blah, 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 but the head's gone, your head's spinning, it doesn't matter, the game's over.
There was ice in the Atletico blood, though, wasn't there?
That's why it felt as if, well, that's why I was surprised Morata didn't start, because for me, he's the tidier player, technically better, links up well, a lot more polished than Costa. Now Costa, bull in a china shop and all that type of thing, but in occasions such as this evening, for me, you need that kind of calmness, people you can trust on the pitch. That's why I was surprised that young fella didn't start.
Yeah.
But
Simeone went running down the touchline, Jose Mourinho style. I mean, what a moment for them. They're having a bad season. But as soon as Liverpool drew Atletico, I was worried for them, because this guy in knockout football, with that team, everything about them, just so dangerous.
But Joe, that's 3-2. People are looking at that, Atletico, it's 3. Battered them. Liverpool had that game in their grasp. It was there.
It's a smash and grab job.
It is a smashing, but it's not totally unsurprising.
Oh no, it's an Atletico Madrid smash and grab job, which is of a higher calibre.
I love it, Joe. I love that mentality. Those players. That's not easy.
Yeah.
That's not easy to win. That doesn't happen by coincidence. That's instilled by the manager. That's because of the personalities he's brought into the football club. He insists on bringing a certain type of player. He kind of hardens them up mentally. It's what he demands of them. Keep believing. To say to your players, look, don't worry about, I'll accept 40% possession in the football. You know what I mean? And we'll sit in here, we'll soak it up, we'll suck it up. Accept it. Keep believing, stay in the game. Wear teams down, almost mentally, get inside the heads of your opponents. Stay in their coattails, stay in their faces. Keep niggling away at them. Don't give up. Don't betray any weakness. It is...
It's incredibly impressive.
Yeah, in the modern era, when we talk about, possession football and easy on the eye, beautiful patterns of play, passing the ball crispy, lovely combinations, this is beautiful. And there's a place for that, don't get me wrong, but this for me is just as admirable in terms of the way this Atletico team goes about its business.
Even Koke there, he just runs himself into the ground every game, year after year.
Yeah, but it's not just run, it's not headless chicken stuff, Joe. It's not everybody running around the pitch making tackles and just blinkers on. There's a structure to what they do, in terms of their defensive shape. There's patterns, they can see clear patterns there in terms of the relationship between full-back and wingers, the relationship between centre midfielders and the wide midfield players, distances between the two centre midfielders and the two front men. There's real cohesion in terms of what they do.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely.
You have to respect it, Joe. You have to respect, because if you don't, you're going to end up on the back end of these results time and time again. You got to respect it, and you've got to try and deal with it and get through it. It's not easy.
No.
And to be fair to Liverpool, they nearly did it.
I was just going to say, as we round this up, as we let you go home, Liverpool, if you, without showing them the result or the goals that Atletico would have scored, if you had shown them all the chances they would create and just press pause as, you know, Mane's about to hit it and Robertson's about to have that header off the crossbar, all those chances, they would have said, OK, we'll take that.
Yeah.
If you're going to give us all those chances, we're going to score enough tonight. So Atletico did brilliantly. But equally, Liverpool created enough. They created enough.
No repercussions. No repercussions. I couldn't criticise that Liverpool performance. We've spoken about the 2 goals and we've broken them down in terms of why they've conceded.
Yeah.
But generally how Liverpool set up, how they played, the balance of the team, decision-making, for me, it was as good as anything. Yeah, it was as good a performance in and out possession of Liverpool as I've seen all season, considering the calibre of opposition and what was at stake.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, we'll leave Diego Simeone still enjoying this, and the Atletico players are down with the away crowd, and the rest of Anfield has emptied out. We saw a couple of fans, Liverpool fans, in tears, and Klopp has gone down the tunnel, the players have gone down the tunnel. Kenny Cunningham, the madman, is going to be back on OTBAM tomorrow. What's that in? Half an hour?
Madman?
7-8 hours you're back on? Honestly.
You better explain that comment after.
You need to switch off, Kenny. Listen, thanks so much. Great to have you in. So you're back at OTBAM tomorrow, and you'll be chatting about the game there as well. So get your tweets and texts in for Kenny, and then we're back tomorrow, obviously 7 o'clock in the evening. So we'll leave you for now.
Football on Off the Ball
with Paddy Power, the greatest football partnership since Shearer and Owen.